Uni students of Reddit, what is the biggest FU that your university gave during COVID? I go to a community college, not uni. This is my last term, and I was halfway through the 3 classes needed to graduate. Only select programs were moved online. Mine was not, despite it not being hands-on. We're on hiatus until it's safe to come back. The last update was from the president of the college, congratulating students for making it through the winter semester. Similar situation to me, but with a lab course. School said they would update us on labs and other in-person classes by the end of spring break. That never happened. Hiked tuition for next term of online classes. That's super fucked and I'm so sorry. They hike it every spring by 7 to 10%. We didn't think they would because of the situation, but pulled a classy move and hiked it by 12%. International students don't qualify for any aid either, so I'm thinking about selling my kidney. They returned like $30 of tuition, because we wouldn't be able to use the gym. I got $77 back for my parking pass, and that's all so far. I got literally $16. It was more insulting than anything at that point. I'm sure at that point they are just returning money they think they are legally obligated to. Not me. Girlfriend's niece attends a US college. State shut down. School shut down, etc. Had to be out by X date. Then afterwards they say, we never said you had to leave, you broke your lease for the dorm. For those of you taking the exam in a different time zone, and hence early in the morning, or late at night, or in places with additional challenges, such as power cuts, we realize this situation demands a lot from you, so good luck to you in particular. They told us to prepare to leave for 3 weeks, but not pack up all our stuff. We weren't allowed to come back to campus to get our things either. They had strangers pack all of our things and store them in a storage facility, unless we wanted to pay market rate to ship all of our belongings home. My uni did something similar, except they didn't touch the stuff and used the dorms as quarantine areas for people entering the country. Soon enough, videos of strangers going through people's stuff showed up. A few weeks after the transition to online became permanent, we got a long letter from the dean of the medical school, explaining, with legal boilerplate text, that we will not get a penny back of our tuition, since we're still going to graduate on time, and they offer recorded lectures. No med school seems to be giving back tuition, so F it. Fine. After reading that email, I did digging to try to get some closure on the issue. That's when I really started to feel like I was getting effed. Our tuition is about $30,000 per semester, not counting other necessary fees plus cost of living, etc. The only lectures we have access to were recorded last year. They aren't asking professors to lecture remotely. They cancelled all small group and mandatory teaching sessions. They didn't bother to set something up on Zoom. They instead post the answers and encourage us to look at the material. One of the 2 course directors decided to offer once a week follow-ups, out of the kindness of his heart. The other did not. When this crisis kicked off, we got stern email from an administrator, requesting individual students to speak only to the class president, warning of professionalism docking if we reached out individually to administration or course directors. The president very kindly compiled a list of feedback and requests, such as office hours, review sessions, answers to student-submitted questions posted weekly, consideration to altering the way grades were calculated. Given the massive shift to entirely online learning, all of the requests were denied, save 1 course, out of 3, switching to weekly quizzes in favor of exams. The other 2 have the same high-stakes exams. A course director also went a step further, saying that we could email professors individual questions, but that they were under no obligation to respond in any time frame. I didn't move across the country and ask the federal government for about $90,000 to watch last year's lectures and get to sit on Zoom sessions with my entire class as a replacement for 8-person facilitated small groups. One of the departments accused 90% of students of cheating on online quizzes for things such as similar incorrect multiple choice answers. They were bragging about how good they were at catching people, when in reality, they just didn't teach well online, and nobody knew what it was supposed to be. My university got in a fight with the students in the dorms. Students who were told to leave for the semester were told they would not get a refund at all. After the backlash, they gave a 1/4 refund, even thought it was halfway through the semester. Housing is paid by semester here too. Despite more backlash, the university held firm at a 1/4 refund. My university is still considering giving us refunds, not to mention, we're still being charged for meals that we're not taking, since my uni has a catering service. So we're essentially paying for meals that no one is eating, meals that are not even being made. I had a really good experience moving online. All of my professors except for one, who was shit even before the shutdown, were fantastic and perfectly adapted their courses to online, even though they'd never taught online or used Zoom. I was pretty impressed. It was pretty much class exactly like it was before, but staring at a computer instead of faces in person. My only complaint is that when pressured about parking passes and why the school wouldn't be refunding money for passes not used, the response was, because the garages still need upkeeping. Well, that's not what I'm paying for, but whatever. A couple of students have sued for parking and other fees, so we'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, in my daughter's classes, somehow only her ceramics teacher did a good job online, which makes absolutely no sense, but there you have it. Some students started a petition to call for a cut in the course fees for the final term, which would be around $1,500 for each enrolled student. They simply said not possible. I'm part of a kind of union of students who speak to the lecturers and principal about student issues. We had a Zoom meeting a few weeks back and demanded that a member of the university finance team attend it to explain why we wouldn't be getting any money back. The finance team member explained, in a very condescending way, that this wasn't possible, as it was against university policy, and we were then sent a brief outline of the university finances for the year, which made it seem as though the university was one missed payment away from bankruptcy. My partner works in finance, and had a look over the files we got sent, and just said that's bullshit and laughed. Also, as part of that union, I was told last month that a celebrity had made a donation in the tens of millions, and somehow that's suddenly gone missing, and isn't possible to be used to reimburse students, despite the celebrity stating that the money was to go towards whichever needs the university saw fit to spend it on. It's all bullsh. Higher education covers itself in a smokescreen of introducing you to the real world through intelligent conversation and getting your foot in the door with industry professionals. But in reality they just screw you over, take your money, and show you that when shit hits the fan, it's every man for themselves.